Say this point because I think that when it comes to our prosperity, money making, money, dollars, when it comes to happiness, when it comes to peace, when it comes to fulfillment, there is one obstacle standing in your way. You want to know what it is? Turn to the person next to you and say, the drunk monkey.
The drunk monkey.
Oren, I want some drunk monkey sound. I got to take the gate off. Here we go. I have a drunk monkey sound set up for you, but it's not coming through. So just look at the picture instead. Did you see him? Okay, good. So the drunk monkey is a little nickname that we have for our mind. Now, I learned this from one of my mentors. His name was Jose Silva. And Jose Silva said that the mind is like a monkey, and that you just need to watch it because it's completely erratic and chaotic. And I want you to think about it like this. At the time, I was a youngster and I was partying and having fun. And I noticed that my mind was much more like a drunk monkey. You know how drunk people are real obnoxious? And they're very verbose and they're just like, hey, you, what are you doing over there? I noticed that my mind was really obnoxious. So I named my mind the drunk monkey. Now, you want to think about this. What if you let a drunk monkey loose in your house? What would that do? It would begin to wreck everything, wouldn't it? Well, I want you to know that when you let your mind loose in your life, it wrecks everything. Did you know that your mind is not your friend? Think about this. I don't know about you, but every time I walk by a mirror, my mind immediately says, fat. Now, no matter how I look, my mind says, fat. Every time. I'll be laying there in bed. Now, his monkey was going crazy last night.
I was telling Matthew last night, I was like, I went to bed at midnight, and I set the clock for 4 o'clock, and I don't think I slept the whole time, because my mind was like, dude, you're going to forget something tomorrow. Get up. Go type it out right now. Hurry up.
We just want you to know that your mind is not aligned with happiness, joy, peace, or abundance at all. Your mind has one purpose and one purpose only. Anyone know what it is? Turn to the person next to you and say, to survive.
To survive.
To survive. That's the whole purpose of your mind. You happen to reside in this 50 trillion cell colony. Look at your hand, and I want you to look at your hand and just see it's a big clump of cells, and they're all stuck together. And I want you to know, have you ever noticed that your hand does like peeling and it does all this stuff, it gets dry. You ever notice that it really doesn't care that you want it to be, moist and lovely and wonderful? Have you noticed that? Have you ever noticed that your body really does not care about your desires at all? It just does. It sees cookies and it's like, cookie, right? Right? I mean, the Cookie Monster was a real character. We all have one in our head. Your mind is not truly on your side. Your mind is designed to keep you alive. It's just a survival mechanism, and that's it. All it wants to do is have you stay alive longer. Nothing more, nothing less. And what we want to begin to do is relate to it in that way. Because when we begin to relate to the mind as a mechanism versus who we are, we begin to feel more joy, more peace, more fulfillment, more satisfaction. Who's ever noticed that the closer you get to your goals, the farther they move away? It's like this. You go here, and then it goes out like this. And then you go like this, and then it goes out like this. And you go out like this. That's because your mind is obsessed with fixing your broken life. Turn to the person next to you and say, I'm sorry, but I'm broken. Will you say that, please? I'm broken. This is what the mind tells us. I'm broken.
Something's wrong with me.
Something's wrong with me.
I got to fix it.
Once Thatch has 2 Rolls Royces, then he won't be broken anymore. But the moment he gets 2 Rolls Royces, now he needs 3. The moment he gets 3, now he needs 5. Now he's got 5, and now he needs 20. It doesn't matter how many Rolls Royces he gets. His mind will never be satisfied because his mind's job is to keep him alive. How does the mind keep you alive? It's very simple. It's constantly looking for what might be missing, what might be wrong, what kind of scary thing is out there in the future, and then it is working to avoid it. A couple things that I said about that I wrote down about it is, your mind wants to keep things familiar. It thinks that familiar is safe. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start to break the familiar. This is why we wanted you to change seats. This is why we wanted you to talk to people you don't know. We want you to consider that the things that you want, the manifestations that you want to create, are just outside your circle. So here's your circle, and these are the people you're used to. You're comfortable with them. You know, you want to consider that your parents domesticated you. Just like you domesticate a dog. How do you domesticate a dog? Through pain and pleasure, right? Well, your parents did the same thing to you. I'm doing it to Trevor right here in the front row. My son Trevor's here. They domesticate people by using pain and pleasure to get them to believe that this is the right way to behave and this is the wrong way to behave. I want you to consider that you never chose your behavior. I want you to consider that you never chose who you were going to hang around. These were not options for you. Who you hang around is who fits into the domestication patterns that your drunk monkey feels comfortable with and familiar with. But what you want lies outside the circle. You can see it. Right. It's right out here. But how you're going to get to it is through other people and experiences.
Let me say this. Have you noticed every time you go into a room, look where you actually gravitate and sit next to? If that's who you feel comfortable with, then imagine how many opportunities outside that is not the same as you. I say that there's less than 1% of the population that we actually feel comfortable with. And the other 99% you don't feel comfortable with, that's all the opportunities that you're missing. That's why you have to work so hard to have opportunity come to you.
Opportunities lie in people. So what we're going to do is assist you in getting through that. But you've got to know what you want. So I want you to know this, that the drunk monkey is obsessed with the past. What it wants to do is make sure that the past keeps being recreated over and over and over and over and over. Do you have any friends who keep going out with the same kind of guy but in a new outfit? Right? And they're like, oh God, I'm going out with a guy and I don't like him, right? And so they blow him off. Then they go, I found someone new. He's so wonderful. He's so amazing. Turns out to be exactly the same. Well, consider that we keep having the same job, the same career, the same money-making experience, the same entrepreneurial experience, the same executive experience. We keep having the same kinds of experiences over and over and over and over and over, and we can't figure. Anyone ever feel like it's like, God, no matter what I do, I can't ever seem to get ahead. Who's ever had that feeling before? I can't ever seem to get ahead. Well, that's just some old pattern from the past that's got you stuck. So we want you to know that the inspiration is in the future. And what we're going to assist you in doing is shifting from a past-based mindset, throwing that out, and beginning to operate from the future. See, the drunk monkey has its eyes firmly fixed on the past, and it's trying its best to keep the things that were comfortable in place and tries not to recreate anything that was agitating. So it's constantly keeping you safe by looking in this moment, looking at the past, and then creating a strategy right now to turn this moment into something that's comfortable.
Let me say this. Think about all this, you guys. Everyone experienced this. We actually write business plan every year based on looking at the past and say, well, last year we did $100,000. So this year, if I just do a 20% from last year, I'm ahead of the game. Right? This is what I know with nonprofit, what they do. You know, we've been struggling, right? So we can't really say this year, bam. One of the things I'm committed to, right, with first place at GSVA is, you know, Doreen, are you in the room now? I know Doreen's in the room. Will you stand up, please? This is Doreen Cato. She's the executive director of First Place.
Hello, Doreen.
And then Dawn Mason, she came in. Dawn Mason.
Where's Dawn?
Right?
She's all the way in the back over there. Hello, Dawn.
This is one of the commitments I have brought to First Place. I said, I'm committed to raising $1 million residual every year to First Place from this point on, period. And I keep telling them, we got to stop looking at the past. We'll keep looking at the past. We're going to keep getting what we've been getting. And this is why they're in the room today. Because this is what we're committed to. I want to do the same thing with GSBA.
Exactly. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to begin to shift our mindset now from a past-based conversation, which generally means you're going to set a goal to fix something that you don't like. Or you're going to set a goal to prove something to somebody, prove to the world that you're somebody. We're going to shift out of that. And we're going to start moving towards something that when all you do is think about it, and immediately you go like this, like, oh. Everyone do that right now. Just go, you know that feeling you get when you're like, oh, you know that feeling? What we want to do is start having that feeling all the time. You want to have some of those feelings? Very good. So the first thing that I want to say is that, and I'd like you to write some notes on this one, and only if you like to write notes, it's a suggestion, not a mandate. And that is that goals are designed to fix your broken life.